Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Remember, actions or decisions have consequences. And the consequences obviously could be positive, negative, or in between. When we have negative consequences, we have to look at how can we deal with them, right? So we adjust, we adapt to the consequences. And maybe we want to, maybe the consequences that we don't like were foreseeable, and maybe some or our brain said, well, you know what, that's good, that's the exact reaction we wanted. It is negative, but it's also positive. Why? Because my next move is going to be something else and something else and something else that's going to go towards achieving one goal. Russia, the Russian President Vladimir Putin, ordered drills with tactical nuclear weapons, live drills. And Russia deploys tactical nuclear weapons during the drills. What does that mean? That means that the Russians will use tactical nuclear weapons in the drills that they are conducting. What does that mean? Well, that means that whenever a MiG-31K takes off with a missile under its belly, you can assume that's a tactical nuclear weapon as the head of that missile. Or you don't know when they're going to move some Iskander missiles. You don't know if they have a nuclear warhead. Basically, Iskander and Kinzhals. Kinzhals are MiG-31K, and the Iskander are just surface to surface, if you want, in this case. So you don't know what's going to happen. Why? These guys are saying, well, that's a blackmail. That's a blackmail. You can't do that. Well, let's see. And you also might say, or we can reason that, oh, that's a big escalation. What's going on over there? We were the nice guys. Well, let me see. Who came towards whom? Imperialistic Russia moved westward and met NATO troops at the borders of former East Germany? Or it was NATO moving towards Russia and they meet in Ukraine? Yes, we can argue that's our right to do so. Okay, well, also we can argue that that's the Russians' right to say, well, we're gonna fuck you up because we are threatened. We feel threatened by your actions. So our consequence will be we're going to do what we do best, defend ourselves, and we can defend ourselves. And if you say, well, wait, we had no intention. We just moved close to you because we like you. This is like, you have besides, the Russians' right to, to do these drills cannot be infringed, let's put it this way. But let me read this little article from Business Insider, and its title says, Russia says it's deploying tactical nukes in drills as Ukraine cries blackmail. So we talked about deploying. They're going to deploy it, and these guys don't know if they're going to use it or not. The Russians claim that the West, the F-16s that supposedly are about to fly in May, they say in May the F-16s will be in Ukraine. Now, I don't know if flying or hiding somewhere. They can also carry nuclear weapons, tactical nuclear weapons. What's a tactical nuclear weapon? It's not a ICB, whatever, intercontinental ballistic missile. It's not that ICBM. It's just something that it's a smaller missile, and it has a nuclear warhead. That is, the destruction is not going to be like Estonia. One Tsar bomb, Estonia is gone, or something like this, or Latvia, or something like this. No. Or London, or it's something a little bit smaller, but still a nuclear weapon. That's what it is. Now, Ukraine cries blackmail. All right, so let me see. On the foundation of you guys closer to me, and I show you my pistol. Oh, you can't do that. Let's say you have a beautiful woman or ugly woman, and she walks down the street, and you have a very, very strong, evil man, and he approaches her, and while he approaches her, he tells her that I'm going to fuck you up, and look what I got right here in my pants, ready for you, and moves towards her. And she's like, oy vey, I like it or I don't like it. Anyway, and let's say she doesn't like that. But she has a pistol right here. And he grabs her and he starts ripping her clothes. And then she says, you know what? I'm going to, what's going on here? I'm going to use my pistol because you strangle me and you try to rape me. And the guy says, hey, you're escalating and you're blackmailing me. And she says, you know what? Click, I cocked my revolver. Oh my God, that's a blackmail. While he is trying to do what I told you. Now, what do you think? Remember, it was not the girl, the woman approaching the man. It was the man approaching. You say NATO is a defensive organization? Okay, let's look at the facts. If it's a defensive organization, and why did they attack and bombarded Yugoslavia in 1999? That's only one example out of many. So it's not defensive. Russia asked, if you remember, Putin spoke with then President, what's his name, Clinton, said, how about we join NATO? And what did the Americans say? No, because, and I'm adding, NATO is against you. So even though the United States, and we're the strongest, aren't we? We need weasels in order to fight Russia. That tells you that, different kind of mentality, allies. So they didn't want Russia in. They kept it for Russia. For what reason? Defensive? Well, where are they now? They're next to Russia. They came next to him. So as a woman who sees these guys approaching and talking like that, shouldn't you be concerned? I think you should. I would. Otherwise, you're an idiot. I think the Russians waited too long, but they were weaker. Now there's not a point anymore. They form relationship, especially with China, India, and others. And they also have the foundation of the new organization, which is BRICS and Shanghai Cooperation Organizations and many others, where the Americans are excluded and their plantation, because Al Capone doesn't like a club, has a plantation right there. Al Capone did not have a plantation, but, we have to mix a little bit the notions to make it more realistic. So let's read this little article. This is from May 6, 2024. Vladimir Putin's Russia said Monday it would practice deploying tactical nuclear weapons during a military exercise after the Moscow said were threats from France, Britain, and the US, which is accurate. Since Russia invaded Ukraine in 2022, why? How many CIA bases are in Ukraine? Ukraine is next to Russia. How many troops were in 2022? How many advisors, military advisors, how many weapons were over there? So it's like Russians will do the same thing to Mexico or to Canada. Do you think the Americans will say, we're cool, man? What's going on over there? How did you get over there, mofo? First time. So, what do you think? Just gonna go and check now. Is leaving. So anyway, don't give me the unprovoked. They try to solve the problem. The guy says, no, we're gonna come and take your clothes, rip your clothes off. Okay, let's see here. It has repeatedly warned of rising nuclear risk, warning which the US says it has to take seriously, though American officials say they have not seen any change in Russia's nuclear posture. Now you do it. Russia says the United States and its European allies are pushing the world to the brink of confrontation between nuclear powers. And I'm quoting, we do not see anything new here, said Andrei Yusov, a spokesperson for Ukrainian military intelligence. Nuclear blackmail is a constant practice for Putin's regime. I don't think he used it at all. At all. I tell you how other people would have said. First bullet you sent over there, we're going to fuck London, first London, Paris, and Berlin. And we're going to go further. And that's it, man. The ball is in your court. You think I'm blackmailing? Okay, activate and get ready. I'm going to give you 48 hours to tell your idiots to stop and negotiate. You or we and we Ukrainians. Don't do that? Fuck it. Now that's how this is how a madman will react, or a desperate man will react, or a person who sees, wait a minute, we're not partners, we're enemies actually. Let's put things on the table as they are. But no. So where is the fucking constant practice of Putin's regime? A lot of people say, I'm not going to say who are those people, and how many are they, that Putin actually is very, very soft. What do you mean? You escalate when these guys escalate? When will you take the initiative? Anyway, but this is the interpretation of the Ukrainian military intelligence, which is fine, right? Nuke drills near Ukraine. Oy vey, you can't have that. Russia's defense ministry said it would hold military drills, including practice for the deployment of tactical nukes. It says the exercise was ordered by President Vladimir Putin. And I'm quoting, during the exercise, a set of measures will be carried out to practice the issue of preparation and use of non-strategic nuclear weapons, the ministry said. Missile forces in the southern military district, which borders Ukraine, aviation units and the Navy will take part, the defense ministry said. The exercise is aimed to ensuring Russia's territorial integrity and sovereignty. So that is, we're gonna have the Russian will use nuclear weapons. They have their doctrine in case their territorial integrity and sovereignty is threatened. If they're gonna say it is, they will say we're gonna use. In response to provocative statements and threats by certain Western officials against the Russian Federation, I think that's accurate. U.S. Russia lead in warheads. Okay, they tell us how many we don't care how many warheads. You have 1,000 good ones, not even 1,000. 20 good ones and some smaller ones. There is not. You don't even have to release them or launch them towards the enemy. You can do it on your own territory and you fuck up the whole thing. It's like you have a big bomb in a house. I don't have to go and invade your bedroom. I just detonate my shit in my bedroom and the whole house explodes. They don't need that. And besides, you don't have to need, for instance, Great Britain. It doesn't have to be hit by a direct strike. So you can have all those defense garbage things over there ready. They don't have to do that. They just have to send one next to the island in such a way that it creates a little tsunami. That tsunami will wipe the whole London in no time, for instance, if London is the point. But you know what I mean? It can be done without even hitting it. So sitting ducks right there. Anyway, here it is. These guys are going to practice with nuclear weapons. For what? If our territorial integrity and sovereignty is threatened. And according to them, they're right there. I think that in order for the war to stop, this could have been used, this kind of threat or consequence of your actions should have been used earlier when they sent the first bullet to Ukraine. But hey, that's how some people think. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.